안녕. Ow. 안녕. Let's talk about a problem in the Korean learning community. Or better yet, let me show you. Do you see the problem here? That person clearly shouldn't be using Google Translate because it consistently produces the most unnatural and incorrect literal translations for Korean that I've ever seen. Sorry, I got a bit carried away. Look, you can be a Koreaboo, visit Korea, have a crush on a K-pop idol. There's nothing wrong with it. But please stop literally translating things in Korean. So let me show you guys how. 그럼 시작할까요? Now, I'm not going to talk about machine translation today. If you want to know why those are bad, I'll leave a link to a video I made in the description. So let's take a look at some common translation mistakes I've seen learners making.
Overusing the subject!
저는 저의 머리가 아파요. 저는 저의 약을 먹었지만 저의 머리가 아직 아파요. 저도 이제 머리가 좀 아픈 것 같아요. Adding 저 to everything in Korean simply isn't necessary. The same goes for using 나 when speaking casually. You only need to say the subject, who you're talking about, when you first introduce it. So if you're telling a story, you can start it with 저는, but you don't need to say that again unless you start talking about something else. And for some types of words, such as body parts, you don't need to say 저 or 나 at all. If your head hurts, for example, you can just say 머리가 아파요. You don't have to specify that it's your head and they'll understand perfectly. The same goes for family members. For example, don't say my brother or my dad. Instead, you should say our using the word 우리, which means us or we.
Translating you and he, she.
I sometimes find Korean learners who use 당신 to mean you, and it does, except it doesn't. 당신 is used to speak to an unknown audience, such as on an advertisement. It's occasionally used by older married couples to mean darling. Or 당신 can be used to mean you when you want to start a fight. 당신! Also, don't use 그 or 그녀 to mean he or she. These words only show up in linguistics books for literally translating he and she from English.
Translating idioms!
Just in case you're thinking about translating an idiom into Korean, don't do it. 내 친구 소개해줄까? 걔가 아주 땅으로 내려왔어. 응? 그래? I've never come across any idiom that can be literally translated to or from Korean and English. Instead, just use idioms you've already learned in Korean. Or focus on the actual meaning of the idiom and translate that. For example, the expression I'm all ears means that you're listening and you want the other person to speak. So instead of saying this,
내가 다 귀야.
just say something like this. 네, 말씀하세요.
Translating grammar.
How would you reply to the following situation? 안녕하세요. 오랜만이에요. 어떻게 지내셨어요? A. I passed time busily. 바쁘게 지냈어요. B. I am feeling good. 저는 좋게 느끼고 있어요. C. Not bad. You? 나쁘지 않아요. 당신은요? D. I am Charlie Puth. 저는 찰리 푸스예요. If you answered A, you're correct. Remember that just because something's natural in English doesn't mean it is in Korean. For example, in English we might ask someone, do you want to go see a movie? But in Korean that could be 영화 보러 갈까? Which literally means shall we go see a movie? So whenever you learn new words and grammar, focus on how they're used in a sentence. Or if you're learning words from a list, make sure you're able to actually use those words correctly.
Translating one-to-one.
Oftentimes, there's more than one way to translate something. For example, the verb to choose can translate as 선택하다, 택하다, 고르다, 뽑다, and 선발하다, and each is a bit different. So once again, when you learn new words and grammar forms, focus on how they're used in a sentence. And learn how to use a Korean dictionary. It might not always have the clearest English definitions, but you can find a word's exact definition and learn how it's used. So if you were to look up those words for to choose, you could read their Korean definitions and learn exactly how they're different.
Not getting exposure!
You need more exposure to real Korean to become a better translator. That's it. I mean, I could say it again a few more times in some different ways, if you want. The more exposure you get, the more you'll be able to recognize what sounds natural and what doesn't. And there's no substitute for more exposure, so turn on your TV and watch a Korean show. Turn on your computer and listen to some Korean music. Turn on your stove and cook some Korean food. Why not? I mean, Korean food's delicious. So what other mistakes should you avoid when translating Korean? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. Also remember that I upload new videos here every week, so if you like what you see, click subscribe. 그럼 다음에 또 봐!